in the news, and I realized we hadn't made a video about it. Luisenti, one of our community members, has shared this with us earlier in the week. We were talking about bare metal during co-learning on Kubernetes, which Fridays, 12 to 3. And we were just explaining, we went through the whole thing. Well, hey, if you have a Hyper-V, if you're running, Proxmox or OpenStack, and you put, a bunch of computers, and then you have Kubernetes on top of that, then yeah, sure, you can repurpose your VMs and all that stuff, but you pay for it, right? And I cared because I was doing a tiny little cluster here with old school hardware that doesn't even have Type 1 Hyper-V, hypervisors on it. So it's all software, and it's already going to take a hit, right? Plus the Raspberry Pi takes a hit. So that got me looking at some of the bare metal sorts of ways, including Talos, which is now called Cedero, which does this video about that. And Lucenti found this interesting factoid from the Ericsson blog, and I'm just going to read it. Ericsson, which made Erlang, had this to say in an article about the benefits. I spelled that wrong. Wait, where am I? We would all like to know, right? Benefits of Kubernetes on bare metal. Ericsson estimates that the TCO savings for deploying Kubernetes on the bare metal compared to a virtualized infrastructure can be as high as 30%, depending on application and configuration. Keep in mind that Ericsson has long been reputed to be one of the champions of high-performance computing, especially throughput and functional approaches, which is why Erlang is so big. I mean, these companies, you're talking about performance. Ericsson has been pushing the phone switch thing. Like, you talk about bandwidth and streaming and all this stuff that's like really hot in the industry right now. Ericsson's been doing it forever. This is why, companies like really love to announce that they've moved to Erlang for their high performance, streams and things like that. And I won't get into the companies we've talked about in the past. So this is a really short video just to bring your attention to this. I personally think this is yet another factor, objective piece of evidence that's suggesting that the enterprise in general, over the next 2 to 5 years, that the new, competitive area is going to be Kubernetes on bare metal. And that means something like Cedero, Metal, and the competitors to it out there. I'm not pushing that one. It just happens to be the one that I know that I'm experimenting with right now. So if you're not trying Kubernetes on Metal, you might want to look at it. We don't know what KubeCon LA is going on right now. We don't know what it's about, but there is also a presentation, and I can't remember where it is. Maybe I can find it again. There was I'm going to put it in here. Kubecon EU 2021. There's a presentation on RISC-V, and it talks all about Kubernetes on RISC. And we watched that. We actually watched that. There's a video where we watched that together. So that's there. Go check it out. Many of you probably know much more than I do about it. If you do, please let us know. Metal as a service by Ubuntu would do as well. Kubernetes on Metal. Yeah, and we talked about, like Basecamp from Amazon, so Amazon Basecamp. I don't know if Basecamp has, Kubernetes on it, on Metal, but it's going to be interesting. And then we don't know. I'm going to put Oxide. It's actually, Oxide Computing with a question mark, because we don't know. We don't know what it is yet. They haven't got a product out yet, but when they do, I mean, who knows? They might, maybe one of the many things. I think they're shooting for just hardware. They're not shooting for, but there's a lot of on-prem kind of ideas, and it's going to be interesting to see how the cloud people weigh in on this, like cloud providers weigh in on this, because, cloud is all about virtualization. There's no virtualization here. It's just removing all the virtualization at the Hyper-Vs anyway, hypervisors, and it's just running the most minimum OS that can run Kubernetes on it. So let's have a look at that. I'm going to put Kubernetes cloud native, I guess, and cloud here for tags, and that's all. That's all for that video. I just want to make your attention, bring it to your attention, so you can go make your own decisions. But yeah, if you have anything you want to talk about, let me know. Let me read some of the comments during this little segment here. Vector says, one of my coworkers at KubeCon LA right now, and shared a bunch of videos on our team chat. I started watching some of them today. I learned a lot, really. That's cool, because you normally have to wait a month. So yeah. Metal as a service by Ubuntu would do well with Kubernetes on Metal. I agree. let's see. This makes logical sense, though, right? Wouldn't things just be cheaper on bare metal? I think that's simple enough for most CTOs to get their head around. Wait, what are you talking about? And not to mention, you can talk about turnkey enterprise. And the other thing too is the impact, is the potential that we're going to start seeing network booting again. So can I put this out here, by the way? So by the way, how about that? I'll put a little thing here. So chat, yeah. By the way, what do I say? Put this? Learn how to network boot again, because you probably forgot, right? Because this is old technology that we let go by the wayside because we didn't use it anymore. All of these devices, network boot makes total sense because they're minimal OSs. They just have to boot the minimum. They've already got cache stuff on the thing. So if you don't remember how to do a network boot architecture, and I have only maintained them, I've never set up a network boot architecture. I'm going to do that at home. You might want to look at that and I actually had another very knowledgeable engineer tell me, he was trying to hire, you can't find anybody who knows how to set up network boot systems. And because, it's largely an old 1990s kind of thing, but other than universities, there's not a lot of reason to boot from the network other than for security and stuff, but it's highly secure. And so I just put that out there. You might want to add that. In fact, Italos actually has a network boot image that I'm going to practice with, because then if you have an upgrade, if you have to upgrade something, you just reboot all your OS, you just reboot all your Kubernetes endpoint machines, and boom, you got your stuff back up and running. So super exciting stuff coming up. Go read about it. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to close out this video for now.